I'm going to start a little series here walking us through how to get started in Photoshop for the iPad. So I just opened up the program. It's a lot like some of the other ones we've started, like Fresco, for instance, which is pretty cool to see some of the same features. One of the things I do want to point out up in the corner here where it says new and upcoming, this is, I think, important to check out. One of the things that I learned when I did that today is that you can now rotate your canvas in Photoshop, which some of you maybe knew that that was a thing because you already did that. And I had mentioned it in class that I liked that about Fresco because you couldn't do that in Photoshop. And then I was like, wow, that's awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and create new down in the lower left. It starts to show you your recents, but what if you're brand new? I recommend going to print. It has a lot of sizes that you can do. But print is something that we would like to shoot for, hanging it up in a museum, hanging it up in an art show. So if we go down here to landscape 8 by 10, over on the side, 10 by 8 by 300, that's what I like to hang in an art show. Once we've got this beautiful white canvas, you can use your fingers to pinch, to spin, to rotate, which I'm super excited about because you can't do that, or you couldn't do that either. Okay, so just quick things about the layout. Today we're going to concentrate on just kind of the brushes and other tools like that. We're going to save selections and we're going to save layers for the other two segments. So starting at the top over here, we've got the kind of general sort of selecting tool. Oh, out in the country, every tractor is going by right now, I believe. Okay, so that's just a general sort of selecting tool, but not making a selection. The next two are, so here is a selecting tool, so I'll say cancel because I don't want to do that right now. That was a transform tool, kind of like making a Command T selection if you're in the desktop version. Here's the lasso tool. Not going to use that. Next one down is the paintbrush. So coming from Fresco, remember we had a lot of options when we clicked on our paintbrush. This one here, the top option is your brush size slider, or if you long press and hold, you get the number option again to type it in. Next option is not called flow in this case, it's called opacity, which is a little bit different, but functions pretty much the same. So if you had the opacity at 100 and you were going there, hit a little bit of lag, I'm not sure why, and then you lowered it down. It's probably because my brush is very large. Okay, so it's have see-through or not see-through something is. And now the Amish are going by. It's a really interesting background. Hear it? There they go, more of them. There's a lot of interesting transportation happening outside this room right now. Okay, so you can get in here, and I'm using my finger right now because I didn't think it would be, it might not be accurate, honestly, if I was using my Apple Pencil, because that does open up other options that aren't available. So I am just using my finger. You could mess around with these things, including the blending mode, but it's just set to normal for now. But I did want to show you at the very bottom, it says use pressure for opacity. Oh, I wanted to show this one too. This is how hard or soft the edge of the brush is. But then if I go back and make sure use pressure for opacity, if I'm pressing very lightly, oh, I gotta put it away, hold up. Ooh, and then I'm pressing very heavily, it really can really change the way that looks. Let me bring that up. Oh my gosh, it really does sound like a war zone here. I can't. Okay. Eraser. Notice that the eraser is erasing through to transparency. Okay, let's use a different color for the paint bucket. All right. Interesting thing about the paint bucket. I think that a lot of times, in my experience, most people expect the paint bucket to act like a full layer of fill, and it does not do that. Okay, last, just running down the side here, you have a crop that you could do to crop it to a new size. You've got insert an image. We'll come back to that. Okay, So that's it for this one.